Hello, welcome to my channel and welcome to this next video in the story of my diet. I'm Ashwini Marathe and this video is about my diet, finally. So what do I eat? What can I not eat? And what must I eat or do in order to lose weight? This is what we're going to talk about in this video. Before I start to tell you what all I'm not supposed to do and scare you off, let me first discuss very shortly what weight loss is as far as I have understood. So why do we put on weight? We put on weight when we eat more calories than we can consume. In the sense, if my calorie intake, that is the calories I take in the food, are much more in excess of the amount of calories I need to work my day, to do my exercise, to do my body functions like digestion, etc., and also to move about in my day. So all these things consume calories. If my calorie in is much more than my calories out, then that excess of calories are stored by my body for future use. It's just like we save money in our bank for the future. The body saves fat. Whatever are the excess calories, they get converted to fat and the fat is stored on the body. So obviously I got fat accumulation over a very long period of time, over probably about 20 years, and it's not going to be possible to just remove them by wishing or by removing a few things from my diet or by just simply tweaking my diet a little at a time. It hasn't worked for me. So I need to tackle this in two ways at the same time. One is to reduce my calorie intake. The second, to increase my calorie usage. That is, increase the amount of exercise I do, move more when I can, take the stairs instead of taking the lift, and so on. We all know that drill. But actually, I have to do it. Now, we are talking about the diet today, the food. So, calories going in via the food and calories being expended via movement and other body functions. So it is actually pretty simple. It is just maths. The only thing is, if we reduce the number of calories a lot and we increased the number of calories spent a lot, it's not going to work. Suppose I decided to have only water for days together. It's going to be very unhealthy for me. Similarly, if I decide to increase my calorie output by exercising 7 or 8 hours a day, it's not going to be healthy. So I need to find a midway. I need to find a place where reducing the intake and increasing the output are both going to be not harmful. So we have established that this is pretty much math, and we need to omit a lot of high calorie foods from the diet. So I was told by my dietitian that there are certain things I must do while I'm on this diet. Then there were some things, actually a lot of things, that I'm not supposed to eat because they are extremely high calorie foods and they don't give me as much nutrition, as much fiber as they do harm. So you have to really weigh the benefits of it as against the problems coming from it. So there are things that I'm not supposed to eat at all. And then somewhere between the must do's and the must not do's is the range that I can have. So what are the things that I must do? First, I need to drink a lot of water. A lot of water. Drink water all the time. Keep yourself hydrated. The second thing is sleep. I must get a good amount of sleep. That will help the body shed weight. If you are not well rested, the body is reluctant to let go of the stores it has for the future. This is how I understand it. The third thing is, through the day, I must eat a lot of salads. So for me, for this purpose, I have simplified the definition of salads. It's just cucumbers, tomatoes, onions. In fact, not even all these three, mostly only cucumbers, because I like cucumbers a lot and they are ideal because they are high fiber, low calorie, a lot of water in them. So cucumbers it is. So these are the three things that I just have to do every day. What about the next part. What may I not eat at all? What I am forbidden from eating. So there is a very long list. I'm sure you knew that there would be a long list because we've heard about this time and again from different people and in different books and on the internet. Everybody tells us the same thing. But once you decide to do it, it actually confronts you. You need to tackle it head on. So in that list, the toppers are sugar and fat. Now, sugar doesn't mean just white sugar. Sugar includes sugar, jaggery, honey, and the family. The whole category, irrespective of whether those things are healthy for us at other times or not. So we know honey is good for you. Jaggery is a healthy thing to have. I had those objections to omitting all these things from my diet, primarily because it was convenient to think that they are essential, therefore I must keep having them, and to remove them would probably mean harm to me. But somewhere I realized just before I started on this diet that by not omitting them and by not losing weight, I am doing more harm to my body, to myself. So consider this harm and that harm. A few months of not eating sweet things, I think it's okay. For me, it's okay. So the whole sweet class, that also then forbids me from eating any mithai, any sweets, all toffees, chocolates. You know the drill, it's everything. The next topper item is fat. Now fat includes oil, ghee, milk, which is high in fat, cream of course, coconut milk, because that is high in fat. So everything that is going to give you fat, you don't need it, you already got a lot of it stored away. This is how I understand, and I tell myself I have got so much of it that I'm going to try to use that rather than put in more fat. So everything that contains fat is a no-no. So even while cooking some things for myself, so cooking breakfast or something like that, if I have to make a chila or an uttapam, I put very little fat on the griddle, on the pan, and I use a silicone brush to brush some fat so that there is the minimum amount of fat on the pan and still my dosha or my uttapam doesn't stick to the griddle. That's how I have tackled it. Then the potato class. So potatoes, sweet potatoes, beetroots, then yam and its friends, sweet corn, peas. All these things are a no. Oh, one more thing. No wheat. So no chapatis, no parathas, no bread, no buns, no biscuits. Biscuits in any case are a triple whammy. There is fat, there is sugar, and there is wheat. So biscuits are enemies for a while, not later, for a while. Then no paneer, no cheese. Too fatty for the value that they give you. We think of dry fruits and nuts as healthy, but here no nuts, no peanuts, no cashews, no almonds, no walnuts, no high sugar fruits, in fact no fruits at all. Now what really does that leave me with? Well, it leaves me with plenty of things, as I've found out. It leaves me with a lot of vegetables, a lot of cooked vegetables, dals, a lot of salads, which I simplify. I don't go in for fancy salads because fancy salads make me want to put dressing on them, and dressing is not permitted. So what is my schedule of eating for the day? In the morning, I sometimes have a cup of tea without sugar. Then around 9, after my exercise, I have my breakfast. After breakfast and before lunch, there is supposed to be a mid-meal. Now, I was not used to mid-meals, but I found that my body was ready enough to take that mid-meal. But it's not really a mid-meal in the routine sense of the word. It is maybe lemon water, maybe very thin buttermilk. So it's a filler, it's what gives you a lot of water again, and it bridges your breakfast and your lunch, doesn't leave a long gap. Then comes lunch. Between lunch and dinner, again, there is a mid meal, and dinner is supposed to be pretty early. Not 6, but not 9. This is how I have tackled it, because I feel that between dinner and bedtime, I need some time. I don't want to eat and then immediately go to bed. Now, I mentioned this tea without sugar. I love my tea, I love my coffee, and I sometimes need them to make me feel better, to give me that go for the day, give me that kick. And at other times too, I simply enjoy both. So I was told not to have any sugar with them. I tried. I for a couple of days I kept that cup of tea in front of me and tried to drink it without sugar. Then decided that I can't. I want my tea sweet or no tea at all. But I love my tea and coffee too much, so I don't want to give it up. I am using a sugar substitute. This is what I am using. This is not an advertisement. This is not any sponsored content. Nobody has told me to talk about sugar free. It's just that I am using this and I see no harm in showing that I'm using this. Now there are issues about whether one should use sugar substitute and whether it is healthy or unhealthy for one's body. But see, I look at it like this. If I have those 2 or 3 cups of tea or coffee a day with sugar free for a year or so until I reach my target weight, I think it's okay, since I'm not going to be making this into a lifelong habit. So just like everything that constitutes an SOS effort to do something that is overdue, this 1 year with sugar free is okay with me. I have taken this call, and but yes, there's the internet, there are the doctors and a lot of experts. So I spoke to some people, I asked the internet, I spoke to my family, and this is where I have arrived, and I'm okay with that call. When we talk about losing weight, we are almost always talking about losing fat, because excessive fat is the harmful part of the body. So we are trying to lose fat, and that, like I said, is math. Calories in and calories out. If they are equal, my eaten calories and my spent calories, if they are equal, my weight will not change. But if my body is not able to consume the calories that I take in, then those extra calories are deposited, are saved on my body for future purpose. It's like insurance. So it's maths. We have to tackle the maths in a very balanced way. And if I think back to June and see where I was in terms of my weight, in terms of my fitness, in terms of my agility, and if I look at now, again in all those criteria, I think I would rather give up the items I gave up. I gave up the Diwali sweets, I gave up Dashera, I gave up pretty much a lot of things. And I think it's okay in my book, because I am where I am. The only question I ask myself, and it has no answer, but I ask it, why didn't I see this math earlier? When I was struggling for years to reduce my fat, to reduce the weight with only exercise and some layman diet control, some layman diet directions that I myself tried to find out and follow. I was never sure whether it was right, it was good enough, and it wasn't good enough because I kept on putting on weight. So I was exercising, yet I was putting on weight, and I'm sure all that wasn't muscle weight, so the fat was accumulating. Now my question to myself, like I said, is why didn't I see this math earlier? It's a wistful question, nobody has an answer to it, but maybe somebody watching this video will see this math, will go and do their own research, will consult somebody, will get hope, and will benefit. So please, if you have liked this video, if it has struck a chord, if it has given you something positive, a smile, a revalidation, anything, please feel free to share it with anybody and everybody who will benefit from it. That's why I'm doing this, so that somebody somewhere will not have all those doubts, all those self-doubts, all that depressing feeling that I had, and somebody will get the enthusiasm, the validation, a bit of guidance, at least to seek help. Not to keep saying, I'll do it on my own steam, because at some point one has to realize that it may not be possible. And definitely, I am convinced now that only by exercising we cannot lose body fat. Definitely not when it is so much in excess. I had 25 kilos or more in excess of what I ought to have. Okay, that brings me to the statistics. Where am I now? I was at 95 in June, 20th of June, I was at 95 kilos. Now I am stuck somewhere at 76. I need to get to 75, so that is the first level. Then I still need to go down to 70, or ideally about 67 or 68. That is where I think I will settle. But it's up to my body. If my body says 70, then 70 it is. How am I going to find that out? I don't know. I have my dietitian to help me, but finally it's my body which will say. So at the moment I am stuck at 76, really stuck, but yes, I will go down. I will. In the meantime, subscribe, share, like, and comment. Tell me what else you want to know. I have my own list. I'll be back. Bye bye.